Hey everybody, how's it going? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Um, or if you're watching this after the fact, welcome, welcome, welcome. This video is about finding jobs. Now, I can't exactly call myself in. Well, I'm not exactly blessed with professional accomplishments. Uh, oh, hey, I got some pictures to send you, Corvette fan. Um, I'll send them to you on Facebook later, buddy. Um, yeah, I'm not exactly blessed with professional accomplishments, and I'm not sure if it has to do with me, myself, or the job opportunities that I've had. Um, I sort of bring this up, but I'm sorry, I'm out of order. I'm not used to talking to the camera anymore. Why is this so damn boring? Oh, anyway, so I recently moved from New Hampshire to Florida. Oh yeah, I hope you don't lose power there either, bud. It's not a tropical storm, is it? Living in Florida, I should be paying attention to when there's tropical storms or not. But I, I'm not. I'm trying to avoid watching the news. I can't handle it anymore. Anyway, how is it when you move to a new place that you find a job when you don't have a profession in particular, per se? And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I graduated high school in 2010. I never went to college. I don't have any idea what I want to do. I'm 31 years old now, and I don't even have a clue as to what I want to do. I don't see this changing anytime soon. Anything that I've kind of been interested in just hasn't worked out for whatever reason, and it doesn't make sense to me anyway. What I've done the longest, the two basically, I've worked in two industries. I've done retail and I've done landscaping. The landscaping is not something that I mean. I somewhat enjoyed doing it at first, but then because the management where I was at changed, it became not so fun anymore. So that kind of just that turned me off from it. And what changed was there were people that had worked in the industry outside of where I was working, and they were trying to make all these big changes to make it more like an actual landscaping job, except for not going home when it rains. And the appeal to that was supposed to be, oh well, you're guaranteed 40 hours every week. Well, when you've got when you're getting 40 hours a week at lousy pay, it still doesn't equal out to what you're getting if you're working 60 hours a week for 7 to 8 months out of the year. So, eh, between that mentality that they had, as well as techniques changing so that we could do our job in a more professional manner, I guess. Um, I just I just lost interest in it. I have no desire to go back to doing landscaping. Um, so there's that, and then with retail is retail. It's really not going to get any better. I don't care who you work for or whatever. It's just not going to be ever a livable wage, consistent schedule, feel respected kind of job. It's a shit job no matter who you work for, how much you work for, and all that. So, that being said, what I've got on my resume is basically, well, my work history, I should say. I worked at Walmart for a while, about, I think it was 15 months, so just shy of a year and a half. Then there was a gap. Oh, excuse me. Then I worked at Toys R Us. And I worked for you for, that was, if I had done that right, that could have lasted longer than it did, but it was too far from home for it to work. So worked at Toys R Us for like a couple weeks. I don't think I even have it on my resume, to be honest. Um, then I worked at what the hell was the name? Oh, UPS for a while. That was kind of fun, but it got boring quick because you're going over the same. You're working in the same area. At least I was working in the same area every day with the same driver. Driver was cool. I got him on Facebook still, all these years later. Um, that was just a temp job from like Thanksgiving to Christmas as a driver's helper. So I'd ride along and basically he'd give me the box. I'd run to the door, ring the doorbell, drop the box, and we'd go. um, after that, there was another gap. Oh, excuse me. I went to work for a dollar store, which was in the process of, it was in a plaza, and the Walmart that was in that plaza was going to expand into a super center. So they were Walmart wanted to tear down part of the building that they were in so that they could expand, and this dollar store happened to be in the location. So I was walking in there just to get a candy bar on my way back from my friend's house, and I saw a sign that said "now hiring" or something, and I talked to the manager. Well, my experience at Walmart with the shelf setting stuff in particular that I did was an asset that was valuable to her. So I was hired on to be a temp, along with, I want to say, 20 or 30 other people. And basically, we moved the whole store from where it was in the plaza to the location that it's currently sitting at today, which is, I don't know, 5, 6 doors down. What was great about that was while everybody else was getting 20 hours a week, I was getting 40 hours a week for the entire time of the length of the project, because what I was, once she saw that I knew what I was doing, she's like, "Hey, I want to keep you here so that you can help everybody else out, help us out." It's like, "All right, sure, I'll do that." So I had my own schedule there. And then at the end of the project, I was kept on as a regular employee, but because I'm so bad at running a cash register, I don't want to run a cash register. So that said, she was very limited on the amount of hours that she could give me. I was getting like, on a good week, I was getting 8 hours. So going in for one day, sorry, that's not worth it. I then went to Job Corps. Um, I did the paperwork. I forget exactly how I signed up for that, but I went. I had to go to Manchester once or twice. Manchester, New Hampshire, that is, once or twice to get everything all sorted out, and then from there, it was just a waiting game. A couple days before my birthday that year, I left, got on a bus, and I went to Bangor, Maine, to the Job Corps Center up there. I was there for 6 or 7 weeks. Towards the end of that, my girlfriend had dumped me, and I couldn't handle it, so I ended up coming back home. Immediately after that, like within 3 weeks, I got a job at this security and flagging company out of Plastow. I worked there for, I don't know how long I worked there for. I can't remember now. They sucked to work for. I mean, in fairness, looking back, I was still listening too much to my parents at the time. Um, Not making my own decisions, and what had happened was most of their work was in the southern part of the state. When I when I when I went to them, I applied to work at a particular site in Concord. I worked there one night, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was something I did with my inexperience with the job, or if they actually didn't need me anymore at that point, but I never went back to that particular site. So weeks go by, I'm looking for another job, end up getting back together with the girlfriend. Um, then finally they have work for me in Concord. I wasn't willing to go south of Concord because from my home to Concord was already 30 miles, like 33 miles. So, you know, you got to factor in gas, your time on the road, and all that. It's not, it's not, wasn't worth it at the time. Now I would do it, even though gas is $5 a gallon. Thanks. I'm not saying any names. Um, so yeah, so that didn't work out. I got fired from that for calling out because I screwed up. Had a doctor's appointment and I forgot to let them know. Anyway, after that, what did I do after that? I don't remember. But as you can see, so far we're up to late 2013, and all I've had since high school are entry level jobs. 2014. Oh, I went. All right. So after the security company, I went back to UPS for another year, another Christmas season of driver's helper. It was the same thing again, but this time the route had actually become, the area we covered became smaller because there was such a high uptick in the amount of deliveries being made. So that got boring even faster. January 2014, I saw an ad on Craigslist for a nursery advertising that they were looking for yard help. My cousin had worked there before, and when I said when I asked him about the job, he said, "Oh, don't even bother going there. Oh, I don't have any other prospects, so I'm gonna check it out." I get there, and the manager, the assistant manager that I dealt with directly, I give him credit. He was straightforward in saying, "Here's normal labor, here's immigrant labor, and here's us." Wasn't kidding. Worked there, I think, 2 days, and then we had a big snowstorm come in. Didn't have anything for a couple weeks because everything was covered in snow. It was just a job mulching trees. After that, snow melted, went back, continued doing what we were doing, which was more like just shoveling mud because there was just such a fucking mess there. People screaming at each other, trying to kiss the boss's ass. They'll go off to lunch, go to Wendy's down the road, come back, they're stoned out of their minds and getting into tractors and still screaming at each other because there was a foreman position open. But yeah, no thanks. I was the first person to quit that year. I left there, went to Labor Ready the next day. When I went to Labor Ready, I gave them my work history, which, if you've stayed from the beginning of this video until now, is not very good because it's all entry level. um, the entry level, entry level non-skilled work. So when I get to Labor Ready, I go through all their tests and everything's good. Then they look at my work history and they're like, "Is there anything else?" It's like, "No." "Well, where did you just come here from?" And I said, "The nursery." "Oh, we can put you down for landscaping." I'm like, "I don't know how to do any fucking landscaping." So I just didn't argue with them. Get a phone call, I get hired. A couple days later, I get a phone call. "Hey, we've got some construction cleanup in Portsmouth for $8 an hour." Or $9 an hour. It was $9 an hour. I said, "That's not worth my time or my gas, but thank you." Well, I told the girlfriend about it. Mind you, we weren't living together. She was living at her parents' house. I was living at my parents' house. Oh, she gave me hell for it. Absolutely gave me hell for it. So next time Labor Ready called, I said, "Hey, we've got a landscaping spring cleanup job available in such and such town. Do you want it?" I didn't even ask what the pay was. They just said, "Yep, I'll take it." "Okay, come to the office, blah, blah, blah." So I go to the office that morning. I get the paperwork. I go then to the ground shop where any longtime subscribers have seen me make a lot of my videos. I talked to the boss with the paperwork. At the end of the day, I said to him, "Do you want me to come back tomorrow?" And he said, "Well, do you want to come back tomorrow?" I said, "Sure," because I had a good time. And daily tickets turned into week-long tickets, which about a month later turned into a job offer. I did all the paperwork. I went for the physical. There was a problem with the physical that took about 6 months to get resolved. And then I worked there for almost 7 years after that. I think No, September September 2021 would have been 7 years that I worked for the company that I worked for the longest. But besides landscaping, I got no skills. I got nothing really out of it. Um, I had some opportunity for upward mobility, but there wasn't enough interest to where I could focus on what they wanted me to learn so that I could then meet their qualifications and move up. So, that said, between that, getting bored of it, personal things that were going on outside of work in my life, in part because from being paid so low and living in such an expensive area to live in, it just didn't work out. I got burnt out. So now here I am. I left there for more money at Home Depot, where I've been working part time. We we made yeah, I negotiated with the management team there to pay me $17.50 an hour to do overnight stocking, which is damn good pay for overnight stocking at a retail store. So tried that for a little while. Ultimately, it did not work out. I left there beginning of December. Kind of got caught up in taking care of personal stuff and personal stuff at home, um, which just even further stress. It was time to leave New Hampshire before I did. Between I decided January that it was time for me to have a fresh start in Florida, where I'm staying in this nice camper. There's an opportunity given to me by a friend of mine. He'd been saying it for several years. Eric, if you want a fresh start, just come down to Florida. Come down to Florida. Well, finally, I pulled the trigger on it. And I said, I'm coming down to Florida. Packed all my shit. Sold a couple of vehicles. Uh, Packed up the car. Drove down. I've been down here since the middle of May, so almost 2 months now. Wow, 2 months. I'm looking at the calendar on the computer. 2 months. I like it down here so far. I feel like there's actually freedom down here. Um, the job market is different, which is nice. I feel like there's not necessarily more variety, but different variety of opportunities, and places seem to be a lot easier to get to, because in New Hampshire you can drive 50 miles north to south and it takes you only an hour, but if you got to go east to west 60 miles, plan on 2 hours at least. It sucks. um, it gets to, you know now we're getting to the long the long we're taking the long path to the point of this video, which is, one, what does somebody do when they are moving from one state to another to start fresh and they're applying for jobs? My legal address is still New Hampshire. I want to keep it that way for as long as I can, because I would much rather, I would prefer to not change my address a whole bunch of times, because I did that once before when I lived with my cousin. The mail was just a fucking nightmare after that for a while. Also, my truck does not have a title to it. I want to make sure that I can register it here in Florida before I switch anything over. I don't want to switch my address to here and then 6 months decide, oh, I need to go get the truck. Go get the truck, try to register it here. For whatever reason, I can't. So I don't want to. I don't want to disturb any. I don't want to kick any bees nests that don't need to be kicked. And technically, staying in a camper is not necessarily legal. Um, I try to hide it as much as possible, but I have a feeling at some point someone's going to get pissed off and let the cat out of the bag, despite the fact that I keep everything neat, clean. I don't disturb the neighborhood with my car or anything. I don't play loud music. I don't cause a ruckus of any kind. I've been guzzling water today like crazy, and the air conditioners run nonstop. um, so, yeah, when you're living in one place and you're deciding, hey, I'm going to go move somewhere else. When you're applying for jobs, you've got to be applying for the jobs using your legal address, because if you don't know where you're going to be, you can't use where you don't know where you're going to be as an address. So it just seems a little funny to me, that's all. It doesn't make sense. The only place since I've gotten down here that's replied back to me after applying to them has been Walmart. Walmart hired me. I worked there for 9 days and I quit. I couldn't do it. I could not deal with the stupid flex that was going on there. Plus their dress code. They've got these stupid polo shirts that I hate polo shirts. Absolutely hate them. I always have. These polo shirts in particular are 95% polyester. It's too hot inside of a Walmart to be wearing something 95% polyester. Never mind in the goddamn South. So that didn't work out. I just ended up stopped showing up. Um, so now I'm back at square one. I know these places can hire with my legal address being New Hampshire, but they're choosing to ignore me. Either that, or I really don't have enough qualifications to do anything. Which I plan on. Actually, I'm going to sign up for them today, I think, if they're still on sale. Signing up for a couple courses through Penn Foster so that I can have a little bit of career development classes or whatever. Just so something on there to enhance my, perhaps enhance my hireability. Because as of right now, it ain't working. Now, my resume, man, that resume was a ton of work. I so my friend got a really good job a couple of years ago, and he wanted me to apply to the same place. I never really wanted to apply there, but I applied there a number of times because it's supposed to be a great place to work, great benefits, like super, like government benefits, um, pay raises every year, option of union, stuff like that. I applied following the same way that his resume is written, but of course with my experiences instead of his. I feel like it's a really good resume, especially when I can take chunks of it out and piece it together into a specific one for a specific job that I'm applying for, which I've only had to do that a handful of times because a lot of places want 10 years of work history. Well, 10 years is all I've got. So I just end up sending the whole damn thing. Um, the yeah, the thing is, I just I just opened a new Monster Jobs account, and you can do a free resume review. Which one thing that doesn't make sense. I hope this is still recording. Where is it? Ah, okay. This says I have 28 years of work experience. I don't. And here's the weirdest thing. My resume has nowhere on it the number 1990. But when I upload it into a website and then I have to review it, I have to make all sorts of corrections. I have to make the same corrections every time. Nowhere on my resume does it say 1990. I wasn't even born in 1990. So I don't know where that I don't know where that comes from. Um, so this says I have 28 years of work experience. So what I did well, you could have provided while you have provided basic details about your past work history, make sure you are including enough relevant information and accomplishments. No, what you see is what there is. That's it. There's no way to fluff it up. There's no way to bullshit it. The standard, the font you have selected for your resume is a standard recommended font, so that's good. What can be improved? Your resume doesn't have enough information under each job you've held. Resumes need relevant information with an appropriate mix of responsibilities and accomplishments. I think this goddamn resume is already 8 pages long. How much longer am I supposed to make the fucking thing? Your resume could be improved so that it is more visually appealing and easy to follow using more consistent font and header styles. So, I think what that means there is because I'm really not good with computers. I'm lucky I can figure out how to live stream. Some of my margins might be off on, in sections that I've added later on, which, of course, towards the top. That right there, I'd have to have somebody help me with that. But um, enough information under each job you've held. I could write 2 pages for just about each job that I've had. All right. Content and language. Under what you did well, this just says your resume could use some professional assistance. Good thing our professional writers are ready to help you one on one. I've paid them to write me a resume before. It came out so. It felt so cliche that like, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't right, and it wasn't. It didn't feel accurate at all. Um, where was I? Oh yeah. What can be improved? This is a long list. The use of cliche language such as goal oriented, results oriented, or responsible for does not set you apart from the competition. These are generic and overused terms. You are missing the opportunity to use compelling language that will make you stand out from the competition. For example, attention to detail. I think I do use the words attention to detail, and I know I use responsible for. Goal oriented, results oriented. No, I don't use the word oriented. Uh, it is important. It is recommended to avoid using first person point of view on a resume. When you use I, me, or my on a resume, it can come across that the job seeker isn't necessarily focused on the potential employer's needs. What? Listen, if I am working for you, then you want my work ethic to work with you. Um, if yeah, what? How does that work? My where my accomplishments, things that I say that I was responsible for, or anything like that, not show that I'm going to be sharing the same interest as you are in getting the results that you need to have your work done. Make sense? Jesus. This one's a kick in the balls here, and I I'm not surprised to see it. Make sure the job titles you are using are common and easy to identify. Hiring managers and recruiter screening software need to be able to easily determine what you do based on your job title so you don't risk being eliminated as a candidate. See below the job titles you should review. And just actually, it's all of them. It's all of them. When I worked for Home Depot the first time, I was a lot associate. So that sounds a lot more formal than cart pusher. But I guess if I have to change it to cart pusher, I'll change it to cart pusher. Um, Day laborer, which is what I fell under for labor ready. That's popped up on here. Delivery driver, DoorDash. Well, that's straightforward, but that's popped up on here. Security guard. Well, I don't know why Flagger doesn't show up with that, but that's pretty straightforward. Modular price change team member slash stockman. So the reason why that's written like that is because what I started as was a member of the modular team when Walmart had one. And then I became a stockman, which is a cart pusher. Why they call it stockman makes no sense to me. To me, a stockman is someone that keeps the fucking shelves stocked. But whatever. Driver's helper. I think UPS is the only one that has a driver's helper. And facilities maintenance student. That's one of those Job Corps only titles. So I don't know if it's with every company that they do company specific titles, but it's not doing me any favors, especially where it's all entry level work. Your resume is lacking enough solid accomplishments. In order to appeal to recruiters and hiring managers, your resume needs more information about your professional accomplishments. What I've got on there is all I've done for professional accomplishments. I got a promotion back, I don't know when it was. I was 25 turning 26, so 6 years ago, 5 years ago. It was 20. It was 2016 and 2017. I got promoted to a level 2 groundskeeper. What's a level 2 groundskeeper? It's a job title that only where I worked at the time is going to know about. That's really it. I got that promotion and a forklift license. That's it for professional accomplishments. There are specific sections that recruiter screening software searches for. If your resume does not include these sections, you risk being eliminated as a candidate. Okay, what are they? What are they? Then last year, there is employer perception. Hiring managers use applicant tracking systems to automatically designate a best fit based on your experience level and the kinds of keywords spread throughout your resume. I have plenty of keywords. The ATS will also assign a weighted score to key skills and competencies from your resume to paint a picture of who you are as a potential employee. Applicant tracking systems can read the following information about you: name, email, phone number, experience 27 years, which, once again, I don't know where the fuck that comes from. Most recent employer, Dasher, DoorDash. Most recent title, delivery driver, DoorDash. Management score, 0. ATS job fit, there's nothing listed. ATS skills fit, stocking, hand tools, time management, GPS, sorting, front end, and pallet jack. And then I can pay anywhere from $129 to $349 to have somebody from Monster redo my resume. Yeah, I've paid them before for this, and I got nothing out of it. I had to go back to what I've got now because what they gave me was just so bad, which it's not their fault. I've got nothing for them to work with. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know. I'm just like, it's stressful. It's very stressful. My car is falling apart. I'm not out of money yet, but I'm running out of money. Beating the hell out of the car for DoorDash, and I got a violation on there recently because their system wasn't working right, so it caused me to be super late with the delivery. Oh, wait a minute. It went away? Did somebody finally listen? I think somebody finally listened. Oh, somebody listened. Hallelujah. I got into a big argument with them, with DoorDash, last week because I had a delivery that was 30 minutes late. It was 30 minutes late because the damn system put their put my GPS so that it would bring me to the wrong location. I had no idea because I don't know the area I'm working in. I then leave there. I get to the location. I call the customer. I said, hey, something's not right here. What's the address I'm supposed to bring it to? They give it to me. It's over 15 minutes away. So I turn around, bring it to them. They're bitchy. I get a violation from DoorDash. I fill out the paperwork. I submit it. I called a couple times to bitch at them as well as find out, hey, what's going on with this? Because I'm not supposed to have this violation. This isn't my fault. This is your fault. That's exactly what they do. And finally, it looks like it disappeared. Let's hope it stays disappeared. All right. I lost my top dasher status for the month of. I lost it, so I don't have it for July, which absolutely sucks because it puts a big limit onto how I can make deliveries. So now I pretty much have to just suffer and take whatever they give me and deliver it, even if it's 20 miles for $2.50. Because God damn it, if I don't accept that, I ain't, it's going to count against me, and then next month I'm not going to get top dasher, and yeah. So much for standing up for myself, fuckers. Oh. Ow! My ass hurts from sitting here. Oh. Well, I guess maybe as I do more live streams or post more videos and do more live streams, that I'll get more people in here watching and interacting, because Corvette fan has been the only one to write any comments and has been watching me the whole time, except for that little power outage that I know you had because it went to 0 for a minute. Oh, geez, I got the hiccups now. Anyway, I gotta get ready to go check on my car at the garage. Oh, shit. We're gonna talk about that. Okay. All right. Well, okay, I see what you did now. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to be tagged because I don't want friends and family seeing this. I mean, anyone that, friends that aren't also subscribers, because a lot of people don't know I have a YouTube account. I want to keep it that way. So yeah, I don't have anything else to add for now. Hopefully, in the future, these these. Yes, thank you. Um, Hopefully, these live streams and my channel start to gain a little more traction, and we have a little more interactivity on some of these videos because this is kind of just a cry for help, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you on Facebook. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.